understand. But don't get out of your rhythm. I mean, you got a good thing going. Don't get out of your rhythm.
And sometimes, Darrell, when you try to slow the car down and ease it through the corners, you end up going faster.
Well, it's like preventive defense, you know, when you got the big lead and you set on the ball and all of a sudden the other team catches you and you say, whoa, I wasn't ready for that. Just keep doing what you're doing, dude.
Fourth is Jeff Gordon. He's 3 seconds back. So is Kevin Harvick. Greg Biffle is 4 seconds off the lead. And Jeff Burton 5. You see the interval come across at the top of your screen. That is the number of seconds each of those cars is behind the race leader.
I know who I want to give the Attaboy Award for the weekend, but riding here right now, Casey Kane in the 9 had a terrible race car on Friday. He qualified back in 37th position. He spent more time in the infield care center, but fighting flew. He gave up his ride yesterday. He got a lap down. He got back on the lead lap, and here he is up in the 8th position. Great job by Casey and that entire Gillette-Evernham group.
And he is charging, too. I mean, he's not holding anything back. Of course, it's the end of the day. You're not going to. Watch this. Squeezes himself right up behind the 15. And
Paul
his
Menard
attention.
couldn't get out of the way quick enough.
Yeah. That was Paul Menard is a lap down. And Casey wanted to get up there and race Jeff Burton for 8th place. Will it be another backflip day in Las Vegas? We'll see. Carl Edwards is our leader with 21 laps to go.
The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, now in pocket size. Introducing NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile. Live radio broadcasts, live team chatter, and real-time stats. Only from Sprint. Get a Sprint phone and download it free with any data pack. Then let the battle come to you.
In college, you weighed 425 pounds.
Then you said,
enough!
Put together a game plan.
He ate better, exercised.
And real fast, 245 pounds.
245 pounds.
That's twice what I weigh.
Gone.
Jared, for taking it off.
I'm keeping it off.
10 years.
Practically a lifetime.
Great job, Jared.
Way to go, Jared.
Bravo.
Woo!
10 years and 245 pounds later, congrats, Jared, on an amazing feat. Happy to help with our mouth-watering low-fat subs. Subway. Eat fresh.
12 summers of boat hauling. 6 minutes to soccer practice. 63 miles of commuting daily. For any extreme, from the road to the racetrack, nothing beats Mobil 1, the official motor oil of NASCAR, and the choice of over half of all NASCAR teams. So put some NASCAR in your car with the One, Mobil 1. Get Mobil 1 collectible cards and enter to win prizes at participating ExxonMobil and on their own locations. Some exclusions apply.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing on Fox is sponsored by Mobil 1, the world's leading synthetic motor oil. Put some NASCAR in your car with the One, Mobil 1. By Subway, where Tony Stewart goes to fuel up. Subway, race hard, eat fresh. And by Sprint, welcome to the 2008 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Speed is beautiful.
17 laps to go in Las Vegas. Carl Edwards leading Matt Kenseth by 1.7 seconds in the UAW-Dodge 400. In 2005, Edwards won 3 times on mile-and-a-half tracks, twice at Atlanta and once at Texas. He's not won on a track this size since then.
That car is just a smooth-running car right now. I mean, the thing is working to perfection. It sounds great when it goes by here. Everything on that thing is working, including the driver.
Well, the Sprint Mobile monster moment of this race had to be the close call for Carl Edwards on pit road. When the right front tire carrier rolls this tire across, it comes bouncing back out onto the racetrack, but NASCAR adjudged and correctly after reviewing the videotape that someone not from their crew, a photographer who was trying to be positioned out of the way, inadvertently interfered, and they let Edwards hold his position, and then he came by for the lead. So the race changed in an instant with NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile. Follow the race instantly.
And second place just changed. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 88 car with 15 laps to go. Just drove by Matt Kenseth in the 17 with his sights set on Carl Edwards, but Carl Edwards sitting out there right now.
Get that Carl now. Let's go get him.
There you go, 2.5 seconds out front.
Jr., 9th at Daytona, 40th at California. Nice rebound here, but he's 2.4 seconds back of Edwards with 14 to go.
Another good run for him in Atlanta next week. If he can close the deal here, he'll be locked in on getting up there in the top 10 in points, even with the finish last week.
Did you see that little courtesy wave that Carl gave to Matt when he went by there on that pass? I like that. Thank you, buddy.
Let's have a look at yesterday's winner, Mark Martin, battling Travis Quapple for 10th place. That's been a pretty good battle as we get down into the
pretty darn
stages.
Good job by that white car with nothing on it.
Quapple made the pass and goes after David Reagan.
But another good run for David Reagan. We talked about him a while ago up there in that 6th car. Now Paul Menard in the 15 car is actually a lap down, but a great run for David Reagan in the 6th. And as you mentioned, we head to his hometown next week at Atlanta. Paul Menard, he just cannot get off turn 4. He can't get out of the way quick enough in that 15 car.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you're trying to get around somebody, that's having that kind of a problem. Don't want to get in something, and there's Reagan right on his back bumper. He needs to make this pass and move on.
There's the Roush Fenway running order. Pretty good day for Jack Roush and crew, but now Matt Kenseth.
We got a car in the wall.
Turn two, and I mean, he has pounded it.
Caution will wave here with 11 to go.
Boy, that car is skinny. Look at that thing, Larry.
Has all the look that a right front tire did go down on that 2 car.
My.
See Kurt moving around in the car. He is okay. But his Penske mount is used up.
Boy, I'll say, he hit that thing a ton.
So we'll be inside 10 laps to go for the restart, which means a single file restart. And watch the blue deuce. Here he is, middle of your screen.
This is where this is when it hurts the worst. You're right in the middle
there,
of the corner.
you saw it when it blew.
Yeah.
I mean, dead in the middle of
right in the middle of the corner. You're already back in the gas.
And Kurt, again, had worked his way back onto the lead lap.
It would be just like somebody walking up to you and poking you in the gut as hard as they can when it does that.
He worked for 163 laps to get back on the lead lap and was running 15th when that tire let go.
Kurt came in here 4th in the points, only 36 points out of the lead.
Let's get down to the Hollywood Hotel.
Thanks, Mike. Guys, this is an AT&T race break. We are under caution, and 10 caution flags the record for this racetrack at Las Vegas, and we have now tacked on to that.
Yep.
And let's take a look at just some highlights. Carl Edwards back on top. We've had quite an interesting race in the first half. The story, Toyotas. Carl Edwards here battling Kyle Busch, the pole sitter, as he led some 50-plus laps. Dale Earnhardt Jr. led 17 laps in this race. Tony Stewart in the first half led 6 laps. Kyle Busch coming back to take the lead again before sliding back on lap 109. Tony Stewart, a right front tire after he complained that the car was tight into the wall, a hard crash. And after going to the care center, Tony was okay, out of the race. Meanwhile, Carl Edwards' pit problems here, they are penalized.
They're penalized because that right rear tire got away from them, went back across the center of the race car. But on the second time by, another tire gets away from him, but a cameraman, not a Fox cameraman, got in the way of the guy catching the tire. You see the tire rolling across on the quarter mile.
NASCAR reviewed, said no penalty. And then Carl Edwards passing Matt Kenseth, his teammate. And moments ago, that last caution, let's listen in.
You can hear that right front tire when it exploded on the number 2 car, sending Kurt Busch up into the outside wall. You see right there, he's still, basically not groggy, folks. You hit the wall that hard. Darrell and Larry were talking about, it's like getting kicked in the stomach. It just knocked all the wind out of you. The big white flash type deal. It really is a hard impact.
Kurt Busch, of course, Las Vegas native, with Kyle Busch, who we showed had a good first half to the race, but has faded. What's been the story with Kyle Busch's Toyota?
I think really they're just chasing the racetrack, and they went the wrong way, and they haven't got it back. The racetrack started cooling down. Their car wasn't ready for it, and they hadn't been able to keep up on the adjustments. Again, a young team still learning their way. as far as what they need to do to the race car. So, they got some more time to kind of come together, but that's really what I think put him behind so far. But this bunch right here with Bob Osborne at the helm, Carl Edwards, they are just running unbelievably strong here today.
Carl Edwards won back-to-back races just one other time in his career. Mike talked about his success in 2005 at Atlanta and then the following week in Texas. The intermediate tracks, right, the mile to 2 miles, just a mile and a half track, something that at least Ford has had a focus on. We saw that last week in Fontana.
Well, I think, Roush Fenway as a whole, but Jack Roush told me this year, Jeff, we're prepared. Last year, we didn't quite get up on our COT program or the new car program like we needed to, but now they got a 7-post. They're doing a lot more engineering, and you got to believe, we take a look right there at the owner, Jack Roush, cat in the hat, we like to call him. He's got a huge stable of cars, and they're working together as a team. Darrell talked about teamwork earlier today, how important that is. And we've seen a lot of the first part of the season. Well, once again, it's coming true as far as today's concerned because Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards, a lot of the Roush cars, just for that caution, they had 5 cars in the top 10 right there with basically 11 laps to go.
Carl Edwards has led the most laps today, 76, but the most important one still lies ahead.
Right,
before we throw it upstairs, what should we look for with Dale Earnhardt Jr. right behind Carl Edwards and then Kenseth, Gordon, and Greg Biffle?
Hey, it is Las Vegas. It's time to go gambling, baby. No caution to the wind. Now it's time to get up on that wheel and put some pressure on that number 99.
That's it. It is Las Vegas, Mike, Larry, Darrell, a 6-1 choice. You could have bet that prior to the race for Carl Edwards. Anybody have that?
No. But at the top of the day, we talked about the wind being a factor in turn 2. It much hasn't been. Maybe for Dale Jarrett's crash, but otherwise not a factor. But, Darrell, you called it. Turn 4, Calamity Corner.
Yeah, and it historically has been. So when you look at these racetracks, over the last 5 or 6 years, even when they made the change here, that's a tough corner, probably one of the toughest in racing.
Larry, Carl Edwards had a chance at the weekend double, but his chance to win yesterday got taken away from him.
Yeah, he had a good race car, but once again, Carl showed why he's such a great guy, because this happened with about 4 laps to go in a Nationwide Series race, battling for the lead with Brad Keselowski. Mark Martin in the 5, who went on to win the race, gets in the back of him, but Mark showed he's a gentleman. He got the victory lane. He said, look, we're not celebrating this. That's not the way we win races. Carl Edwards said he knew Mark Martin would not wreck him on purpose, but I think he also knew Carl Edwards had a good race car today.
Tonight on Fox, an all-new Simpsons at 8/7 Central, and an all-new Family Guy at 9 o'clock, 8 Central. That wasn't our gopher, was it? Also, King of the Hill and Unhitched, the series premiere. Dick Berggren.
Bob Osborne has been warning Carl Edwards, watch your outside. He's very good on the outside. He means Earnhardt. The driver jet said, no problem.
Carl Edwards won back-to-back races in 2005, both on mile-and-a-half tracks. Atlanta and Texas in the fall. He's going for 2 in a row.
What you have to watch now on this restart is your right side. These D-shaped racetracks, you've got a lot of room once you start down here toward the start-finish line. If you drop down to the inside, you've got 3 lanes to your right over here that the guy behind you can get a run on you.
They've waved off the restart. They'll go 1 more lap. In second, Dale Earnhardt Jr., who finished second here in 2003.
But the thing when I think about Dale Earnhardt Jr. is I think he's loving the opportunity to get 1 more shot at that 99 car. Even though he had a lot of success at Daytona, winning the Budweiser Shootout, winning the Gatorade Duel, remember, he has not been to victory lane in a points event in almost 2 years. Richmond in May of 2006. It's been a long dry spell.
And you know why I feel pretty good about where he is and he's pretty confident? Because when Tony Jr. told him, go get him, he said, calm down. Almost like assuring him that I'm going to go get him.
Yep. Behind him in third, Matt Kenseth, who has always been good at this racetrack. And in fourth, Jeff Gordon. Gordon's led 19 laps today.
This changes everything, Mike. This last restart it's a crapshoot here, boys.
Now this is a single file restart because we're inside 10 laps to go. That means only lead lap cars up front. And we'll have 5 laps to go when they get the green.
All right. The other thing, Darrell, they've got 30 laps on their tires. Everybody's pretty equal, but you've got to make sure you don't spin those tires on this restart.
You can hear the engine. That's what they're doing right now. You'll burn those rear tires. You don't want to do that when you get around here for the real.
How about Casey Kane? Started in the back, backup car, sick. not feeling well. Jason Keller standing by. Got a free pass about at halfway, and he's had a top 10 finish the last 2 races. So Casey Kane with a big rebound here. He's running in 8th. And good news that Kurt Busch checked over at the infield care center and released.
Right now, the crew chief says, clean them up. Let's get them cleaned up. Don't spin your tires on the restart. Don't miss a shift. 5 to go.
Green flag.
Whoa, Junior didn't go.
Did not get a good restart. Matt Kenseth took advantage of on the high side. There goes Gordon on the inside. They're going to split it going into 1.
Boy, I think Junior may have spun the tires, Larry.
And what a break that was for Gordon, but look on the high side. Oh, Gordon comes up.
Oh, he got Kenseth. Oh, and there goes Jeff. Jeff's in the inside wall, hard
into the wall. Caution will wave. Caution will wave. The field is frozen. We'll be coming back to 4 to go.
That was, and he almost got clipped again. What a, I told you, it's a crapshoot.
Cautions breed cautions.
Well, we're looking at Jeff Gordon. You can see he's already taken his steering wheel off. He's letting his window net down. That's the whole radiator out of the 24 car, the entire radiator.
That car, that just
and
knocked
look where it's at in relationship to the car.
Last week we saw a guy get his carburetor knocked off. This week we see a guy get his radiator knocked out.
What happened to Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski yesterday on the front stretch has now happened in turn 2. Jeff Gordon trying to hold the bottom, and he and Matt Kenseth get together. Watch the 17 and 24.
It all started with this restart. I mean, this gets everything bottled up, and now it's just like a real rat race down here into turn 1. Jeff's on the bottom. Here comes Matt up on the outside. I think Jeff just shoves up right there, gets into him ever so slightly. And look at Greg Biffle slide by, but that inside lick on the inside wall is what tore Jeff's car all to pieces.
They're going to stop the field in turn 1 so they can clean up turn 2. Here's another look. And you're right, Darrell. Jeff's car just pushes up, won't hold the bottom of the racetrack.
Couldn't hold it down. And this thing goes in here, and it hits an opening. That's why it knocked. That's what happened.
Oh, my God.
It hit that opening, and it just ripped the front end off of it.
There's no safer barrier there.
No.
Now, Jeff is okay. Let's ride along in his Chevrolet.
That was one hard lick. But you could hear him playing with that throttle all the way through 1 and 2.
Well, here's what I heard. He went into 1. He almost tried didn't back off. Then he had to play with that throttle a little bit off of turn 2, and the car wasn't biting. It just wasn't getting enough grip. But that opening right there, that could have been disastrous.
Let's watch this unfold from the restart. You'll see that the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. does not accelerate with the 99 of Carl Edwards. And that puts things in motion.
I believe he probably spun his rear tires, I think is what happened.
You see, Junior speed just doesn't build quite as quickly as Edwards. Here they come.
He spun the tires.
Exactly what we talked about. Kenseth got that run on the high side right there. And like I say, Jeff car just walked up just ever so slightly.
Jeff was trying to get enough throttle in it to get up in front of him, but he just didn't have the grip down low like that.
Now watch the 16 Biffle and the 29 Harvick.
Oh, they do an incredible job, especially Biffle there, sliding by on the outside.
And I know a lot of people are going to say, wait a minute, isn't this the same thing that happened at Chicago 2 years ago? Totally different situation.
And I think Matt's okay. I don't think he got his car torn up.
No. And Jeff did get out of the car okay under his own power. But Darrell, the day is going to come when we have that safer barrier around the inside and the outside, all around all of these tracks. As far as I'm concerned, it can't come soon enough.
Well, when you got an opening over there like that, you ought to have some sort of protection for an incident like this. You say, well, the car will never go there. These cars go where you never expect them to.
All right, one thing that I want to point out, you see we're under red flag conditions, and these cars are parked up on the banking. Matt Kenseth is actually down on the apron. in the fuel cell, the pickup is in the right rear corner of the fuel cell. That way when you go through the corners at speed, the fuel goes over to there. Remember, all of these cars pitted with 52 laps to go, which is right there on the fuel window. I'm already getting a report that Greg Biffle has told Greg Irwin, I think I'm running out of fuel. I think the problem right now, all the fuel has run away from the fuel pickup.
I was just going to tell you, I think he's right. I think he's run out of fuel because he went by here with fire flying out the right side tailpipe like a car that's starving for fuel.
Jeff Gordon had only one DNF, did not finish in all of 2007. He's just been knocked out of his second race of 3 in 2008.
NASCAR fires up the engines in Atlanta. Jeff Gordon is revved up looking for that checkered flag. But Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson battle for their spot in victory lane.
Let's go racing, boys. Let's go racing, boys.
The Cobalt Tools 500, next Sunday in HD, only on Fox.
Don't miss the best night on TV with 8 guys who live for music and 1 guy who lives forever. Fox Tuesday. The pressure's on because this week decides who will be in the top 12.
This is it. Make or break time.
Be there to support the guy you think is most worthy.
Don't let your favorite down.
American Idol. Then uncover the secret of New Amsterdam.
My homicide.
Death likes to play hard to get.
The series premiere after American Idol. It all starts at 8/7 Central Tuesday on Fox.
Fox Sunday is all new, and the Simpsons are in search of a rat.
Who is it?
I have some information, but it won't be easy to hear.
Because of your stupid accent?
Then, after King of the Hill, a Family Guy getaway brings out a startling confession. I love you.
It's a good sweater.
Plus, the creators of Dumb and Dumber throw you back into the dating pool. The premiere of Unhitched. It's all new starting at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox.
All you gauges coming this time. Pull the belts real good. Green flag. Green flag. That part, bud. We'll get you fixed up here when we get a caution. Got a spin here on the front. Oh, buddy, that was a good one right there. I need crash any minute. High there. Car up high there. Something definitely wrong with this car. Settle down and relax.
We're glad you're watching with us. NASCAR on Fox from Las Vegas. The red flag is out with 4 to go. Carl Edwards, who's led the most laps, trying to win back-to-back races. Currently your leader as you get a look at the top 10. Jeff Gordon said in the pre-race that his car was finicky. Now it's finished for the day, Jeff Hammond. And I guess along with Dale Earnhardt Jr., it appeared that Matt Kenseth, they were trying to lay back just a little bit with Edwards in that restart.
Yeah, it looked like everybody was trying to do a restart basically from Daytona. Everybody laying back a little bit, trying to get a run on one another. And unfortunately, in the 88 car, he didn't go like he needed to. Dale Jr. spun his rear tires, and all of a sudden he got split by the 24 and the 17. And next thing you know, when they came together off of turn 2, well, guess what? The end result was not very good.
And Kurt Busch, we believe, okay. Jeff Gordon, okay. 11 cautions, which is a track record. And those 2 hard hits that we saw recently. And then, Jeff, wasn't it Clint Boyer in yesterday's practice session also went into that little opening in the track?
As Darrell said, you know, you don't need to have those kind of things around the racetrack because these race cars will go where you never dreamed they could go. We already saw very quickly that when Jeff Gordon got inside that back wall, all of the front radiator, I mean, just everything exploded like it did. And if he had not been hitting a glancing blow like that, it could have been very detrimental maybe to Jeff Gordon because, I mean, that's not what you want to see with a race car hitting a wall head on, Chris.
And earlier, Tony Stewart, a 2-time NASCAR champ, out of the race on lap 109, hitting the wall as well. So with Carl Edwards, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Greg Biffle, Kevin Harvick, and Jeff Burton, that's your top 5 as we stand under red with 4 to go.
Under red right there, we see right there Carl Edwards sitting beside the pace car, believe it or not. He's not been stopped for a citation or anything for all the violations he's had today.
There's been a lot of violations for a lot of people today, but certainly not Carl Edwards. So let's check in with Tony Uri Jr., who is with our Krista Vona. Krista?
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, down here on the 88 pit box, Tony Uri Jr., the crew chief for Dale Earnhardt Jr., talking to his boss, Rick Hendrick, deciding what's going on, what happened on that restart, and then also what's going to happen here, obviously in Vegas. Everything's a gamble, so we want to know, Tony Jr., what's going to happen on this restart? Does your driver have anything for that? Does the 88, double 8s have anything for the double 9s? You kind of rolling the dice.
We'll see. I mean, that's
You know, the cars are pretty equal. I think we got a little bit better car on the long run. So, you know, we'll see. We're just having trouble hooking up on the restarts, you know, spinning tires and that sort of stuff. So we're just we're giving our best shot. I mean, Dale Jr.'s the one I'd want behind my wheel, so I think he can make it happen.
So does that mean you have to be conservative at all on this restart, or is there any such thing?
There ain't no such thing. I mean, at this time in the race, you just got to let it all, throw it up on the table, and what happens, what happens. So, you know, that's basically what they did on the last restart. So everybody's wanting to be in this position, and we're here. So we're excited and proud of all the guys for all day's work.
All right, they're telling the dealer, hit me down here, Dick Berggren.
Yeah, I'm with Bob Osborne, who is Carl Edwards' crew chief. Well, you survived the last restart. How about this one? How's the game going to be played?
Well, I hope we survive it just as well. That's the plan for sure. You know, the 88 didn't really get the greatest of restarts, and it let us get out in a little bit of a lead there, and it kind of bottled everybody up and got a little congestion there and caused the accident. But you'll have that big-time auto racing.
Is he fast enough, or does he have to protect the outside for fear that somebody's going to come by and get him?
Well, on the restart,
yes,
we're just doing that for precaution. You know, you never know what happens. You could slip up just a touch, and somebody gets to the outside of you, and you know, then you get into the situation we just had. So we're trying to keep that from happening, taking every precaution we can to make sure we get victory here.
And your driver knows how to play this game for sure. Chris Myers.
All right, thanks, Dick. And don't forget the Simpsons coming up next, except for those of you watching on the West Coast.
Very unique trophy right there. It doesn't get really a trophy like we're normally seeing. They get a championship belt if you're able to win here in Las Vegas. And
looks like a lot of Vegas bling.
It does, a lot of Vegas bling right there. One thing we want to point out, you see the 17 car sitting there on the racetrack. He is still on the lead lap. He is not. He lost a bunch of positions. He's dropped all the way back to 16th right now, but you know, he's not out of this thing yet.
Jeff, listening to the crew chief, and you can use a Vegas term, all in at this point, but does Carl Edwards have an advantage with his teammate Greg Biffle, currently third, in between Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
Well, he's definitely got Dale Earnhardt Jr. kind of like between a rock and a hard place, but Dale Jr. knows that Greg Biffle is going to race him clean, and the main thing he needs to do is just get a clean restart so he can get up there and put some pressure on that number 99 car. And, you know, and Carl's got to be careful of not doing the same thing. If he happens to spin his tires, he'll just give it right over to Dale Jr., and then, you know, Jr. will be off to the races for himself. So this thing's a long way from being over. And I want to point out something else. There's two RCR cars sitting back there. They're basically they're waiting for somebody to make a mistake, and they're going to just basically swoop in there. That man, Jeff Burton, he ran second here a year ago, so he knows how to win here. He knows how to get the job done. So I wouldn't count either one of those RCR cars out yet either.
Jeff Burton has won twice here in Las Vegas. Kevin Harvick hasn't had a top 5 finish in quite some while, currently fourth. So where's the dividing line with just 4 laps to go then? Is it the top 5 as far as ruling out anybody who has a real shot?
What we've already seen is the guys that were running 1, 2, and 3, you know, they got all bottled up and wrecked each other. So, no, I wouldn't count anybody else in the top 10, because if Carl Edwards spins these tires and Dale Jr. gets in the back of him and all of a sudden Greg Biffle runs in the back of them, you never know what's going to happen. This could trigger one of the biggest wrecks we've ever seen in Las Vegas. And on top of all that, we've already had a record number 11 caution. So it's pretty much, it's wide open.
And if this played out the way we stand, Carl Edwards would lead, and it would be the first time in his career that he would be the points leader, and it would be the 3rd straight week that we've had someone lead for the first time in their career. Kyle Busch coming in, and after week 1, of course, Daytona 500 winner Ryan Newman.
Well, we talked about 2008 being kind of like a year of surprises, and I think so far it hasn't let us down with Ryan Newman winning at Daytona. You know, Carl coming back there like he did at California. And again, if he can win 2 in a row, I mean, that would be so impressive. But, you know, the cat in the hat, he has had a lot of winners here at Las Vegas, so he knows how to put together the right kind of engine combination with the right kind of aero package to get to victory lane.
Adjusting his hat on cue. So it looks like a Ford Chevy here. At least that's who has the top 5. And there are no Toyotas. Well, actually, Denny Hamlin just snuck in at the 10th spot. And yet Kyle Busch, Tony Stewart had some pretty good runs earlier in this race.
They look very, very strong. Let's, you know, give old Denny Hamlin a little bit of love there, because he was down a lap early on, struggled. They kept battling their way all the way back up to where now they're running in the top 10. And, you know, they need to kind of turn this season around, because they have struggled early in the first 2 races. So it's good to see him back up there getting the job done. And the guy that also we got to give a little bit of holler at, Elliott Sadler, got caught speeding off of pit road, not into pit road, but off of pit road, this 19 car early on. He battled all day long, finally got his lap back, and he is now back up there just outside the top 10. So a good, I guess you might say, effort not only by Casey Kane, which is his teammate from Gillette Everham, but also Elliott Sadler, because remember, I picked him kind of as a long shot.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon's car being hauled away. And I mean,
Totally destroyed, I might add.
With all the things you talked about, you and Darrell in the pre-race show, and Larry talked about wind and debris, and the pit road concerns, we've had a number of violations
Right.
with pit road, whether it's been tires or being caught speeding.
Well, it's just that time of year. I mean, everything until you see the wind continues to blow here at Las Vegas. Fortunately, it hasn't been the big culprit that we anticipated. A lot of guys were a little bit more concerned about it, but you know, we've had some ill-handling race cars, so we don't know for sure if we can hand all that off to the wind or not. But it has been a very unpredictable day. If you don't believe me, go ask Jimmy Johnson, who has struggled from the drop of the green flag.
Yep.
So it's been a really unpredictable day. We see Jimmy sitting there inside his car, probably trying to figure out, you know, I wonder if they got a back door out here. It's probably kind of embarrassing for him and Chad Canals to run like they're running, especially with Jeff, their teammate, up there contending for the win until this last accident.
2 laps down, Jimmy Johnson was going for his 4th straight win in Las Vegas. Who will win? The answer may be blowing in the wind, my friend. But next week, we move on to Atlanta, where Jimmy Johnson swept last year, right? Both races. Yep. You can hit speeds of up to 195 miles per hour. Our coverage Friday was Sprint Cup Series practice on speed, and then the qualifying, the Craftsman Truck Series. On Saturday, Nationwide Series qualifying on speed, followed by Sprint Cup Series practice. And Sunday, NASCAR Race Day on speed, and then the Cobalt Tools 500 on Fox, followed by NASCAR Victory Lane on speed. It's our coverage of NASCAR throughout the weekend across the Fox family of networks.
So you mentioning wind. Does that mean since we're going to Atlanta that we're going to be NASCAR's version of Gone with the Wind?
Gone with the Wind, Tara. Right. We'll visit Tara on the way. Let's visit the booth. Larry McReynolds, Darrell Waltrip, and Mike Joy. Guys?
Well, Chris, the wind blowing very hard from turn 4 to turn 2. How much contact did Jeff Gordon make with Matt Kenseth? That little black mark right there is all we can find on Kenseth's car. He just touched him.
You can just see, if you watch, I think you might even see just a little smoke or dust. Just a little bit. See that little trail off the back there? Just that's all it took, though.
As we've said all day long, it doesn't take much at those speeds.
Well, we've always said in the middle of the corner or at exit like that, reach out with your finger and touch that car, and it could go around.
Boy, Kenseth's car again is undamaged and continues, while Gordon certainly got the worst of this one.
Boy, that's incredible how that car flew apart.
Let's take you back to the restart and go all the way back to turn number 4. The drivers are supposed to be tightly bunched here.
And that's what we see, and that's what Matt Kenseth was complaining a little bit about. Jeff Gordon laying back. It looks to me like Matt Kenseth might be laying back a little bit to me. Now, Matt's up there. Of course, here they come. So, really and truly, the whole problem was with the 88. When he didn't go, that opened up everything. That's what turned into a mess.
Now let's listen to Dale Jr.'s car on the restart and see, was he laying back or did he spin the tires? Listen.
Big time.
It was even against the rev limiter, Chip.
That's when it was spinning the tires. This thing's got 850 horsepower. You better have those rear tires cleaned up and ready to go. That's what we were talking about as they were coming around to get the green.
Looks like the cleanup crew is done in turn 2, and they had a lot to clean up because radiator, oil cooler, lines, everything flew off the front of Jeff Gordon's car.
Fired it.
Again, I'm still going to watch closely because I think with everything that's went on here, we've got some cars that are going to be a little close on fuel, maybe some that's going to be starving for fuel till we get back up to speed.
I'm just worried about that 16 car. Like, when he went by, he had it cut off. That's why the fire was coming out of the pipes, and you've already heard him say he thinks he might be out of fuel.
21 cars are on the lead lap. They include Ken Schrader, one Pablo Montoya, who's fought his car all day but got the free pass on the last caution.
That's the reason you see them getting down on that apron on the flat, because that's giving that fuel an opportunity to get over there to that right rear corner rather than up on the banking running as slow as they're running.
Well, we park them up at an angle like that too, Larry, so if the battery happens to be weak or whatever, you can coast down the hill, pop the clutch, and get it cranked up. So serves a couple of good purposes.
Jimmy Johnson has asked for a push to get restarted. He was stopped down on the apron, and he gets one not from the wrecker but from Kyle Petty. That is perfectly legal, by the way, except once the white flag waves, you're not allowed to receive any assistance.
No assistance on the white flag lap.
So it looks like we're either going to race the last 2 scheduled laps here, or if they open pit road and then give one to go the next time by, we could go into overdrive here.
I think Matt's got some, I think his right side tires are down. I know it's pretty sure his right front is.
Yeah, you could see them all wrinkled up.
And the right rear is too. That was from some of that spinning he did back there.
And pit road is open.
He's lucky all he's got to change his 2 tires, though.
And I guarantee you, these guys that's close on fuel, they absolutely hope we don't go into overdrive and run more laps than we're scheduled, because they're banking on this thing only going 267 laps. When they come by this time, we will get the 1 to go. It'll be 3 to go. That'll mean 2 laps of racing.
Get them cleaned off, though, bud. Let's get a good restart here.
Bob Osborne to Carl Edwards, as Kenseth is the only taker on pit road.
He had no choice. I think Carl Edwards would be pretty good on a restart. You know, you run all the dirt races like he has. You kind of know what to expect. Get your tires clean, get ready to go.
And I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. knows what to expect.
He learned the lesson, I guarantee you. I bet he's spinning them now, but they're over on the back straightaway.
I tell you, I'm like Jeff Hammond. You've got those 2 Richard Childress cars sitting back there 4th and 5th just waiting for the fireworks to happen.
It's another team day. You got the 99 and the 16 running 1st and 3rd. You got Dale Jr. and then you got the 2 Childress cars. I mean, you got these guys grouped up. Teams.
Jeff Burton's had a great day coming back to run in the 5th position with 3 to go.
Wouldn't count Casey Kane out of making another move or 2 here either. He's 6, and he's pretty good right now.
Started 37th. There you ride with Casey now.
With the flu. A bad case of the flu.
He got over that.
I said that earlier.
He got over that when he got that lap back. He got over that.
Will it be Carl Edwards for the 2nd week in a row? Will it be Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the first time in nearly 2 years? Will Greg Biffle break through? Kevin Harvick, Jeff Burton, Casey Kane. We're about to find out as we'll get the green flag with 2 laps to go.
Yep, Vegas is where fortunes are won and lost. Somebody's getting ready to win one.
We'll know in 3 miles.
Green flag.
Much better start by the 88 that time. No wheel spin that time.
Kevin Harvick laid back just a little bit in that 29 car on Greg Biffle. Dale Earnhardt Jr. staying right with him.
Look at Biffle go the outside.
Biffle gets a run on the high side.
I don't know if he can make that stick or not.
But the high side is where those Fords have been their best all day.
Boy, Carl's shot out of a cannon down the back straightaway.
There goes Biffle up to the 2nd groove. He just can't get the bite up there. They'll be coming white flag this time. 1 to go.
I believe Biffle's going to make a run on Junior as they go down in toward turn 1 here. He's looking around. He's looking inside. He's looking outside.
You got good gap here. Run away with it.
Biffle's to the outside of Junior off of 2. Can't quite get there.
He'll have 1 more shot as Carl Edwards pulls away. Half a lap to go.
Carl's loving this. He's looking in the mirror saying, bye-bye, boys.
Harvick coming into the picture.
See you at the casino.
Single file. Biffle looks high.
Whoa, Biffle.
And for the 9th time in his Sprint Cup career, Carl Edwards will go to victory lane.
2 in a row. Way to go, Carl.
Hey, what? We had a side-by-side battle for 6 between Casey Kane and David Reagan.
It's over for sure, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, 10-4. Checkers are waving here. Good job.
Jeff Gordon has been released from the infield care center. He is okay after that hard crash. And Carl Edwards scores the 5th win for Jack Roush at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
I got to tell you, Larry, that Bob.
Carl Edwards, great job. Great.
That Bob Osborne crew is doing a whale of a job.
Man, that's a pleasure.
And they overcame a lot today. They really, really did.
And here is Steve Burns with Jeff Gordon.
And Mike, good news for Jeff Gordon. He walks out. Jeff, that was a wicked shot you took. Tell us what happened.
Well, you know, it was a little bit my fault. I didn't want to be on the inside there. My car was really too tight. I wanted to get a run on the outside, but when Kenseth and Junior got side by side, I had the momentum. I went to the inside. I got down to the bottom and thought it was going to stick. I got in the gas and I drifted up into Matt and hated that happened. But I got 2 things to say. Bruton, you need soft wall and to change the wall back there on the back straightaway. Thankfully, Hendrick Motorsports and everybody that's DuPont Nicker and Chevrolet builds an unbelievable race car because that's the hardest I've ever hit.
Glad you're okay, Jeff.
Carl Edwards gets to do the backflip. He will go to victory lane as we show you the entire lead pack coming across the line as we finish 400 miles here at Las Vegas. Here is Edwards, half a second ahead of Dale Earnhardt Jr., who is half a second ahead of Greg Biffle, with Harvick closing in fourth, Burton in fifth.
Look at that battle for sixth, though, between Casey Kane and David Reagan. We just got the score and update. David Reagan did beat Casey Kane back to the line for sixth.
Look at those team cars. Childress, Roush.
Here we go again.
Carl Edwards doubles down and does his second backflip in a row.
Yeah, a tree fell on my car. I'm covered, right?
Was it a ficus?
I don't know. Who cares?
Well, the low-rate plan you chose does not include tree-related incidents, except for the ficus.
You're joking, right?
No.
If you could save on car insurance without cutting your coverage, why wouldn't you? Call State Farm and see why it pays and shop the leader first. Get a quote and start saving today.
That's no ficus.
In college, you weighed 425 pounds.
Then you said...
Enough!
Put together a game plan.
He ate better, exercised.
And real fast. 245 pounds.
245 pounds.
That's twice what I weigh.
Gone! Gone.
Jared, for taking it off.
Keeping it off.
10 years.
Practically a lifetime.
Great job, Jared.
Way to go, Jared.
Bravo.
10 years and 245 pounds later, congrats, Jared, on an amazing feat. Happy to help with our mouth-watering low-fat subs. Subway. Eat fresh.
NASCAR fires up the engines in Atlanta. Jeff Gordon is revved up looking for that checkered flag. But Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson battle for their spot in victory lane.
Let's go racing, boys. Let's go racing, boys.
The Cobalt Tools 500, next Sunday in HD, only on Fox.
Prepare for a NASCAR experience like never before. Every lap, every driver, all on your computer. Now you're in control. Who will you listen to?
All clear. Nice job, buddy.
Who will you follow? What view will you choose? Check out Track Pass Race View. Available now only at NASCAR.com. Log on to subscribe. Track Pass Race View. Your driver, your view.
Let's go racing, boys.
NASCAR fires up the engines in Atlanta. The Cobalt Tools 500, next Sunday in HD, only on Fox.
Papa John's Spinach Alfredo Pizza is made with a creamy garlic cheese sauce and baked to perfection. It's another delicious specialty from the folks who make a special pizza. Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and try a large Spinach Alfredo Pizza for only $12.99. That's a large Spinach Alfredo Pizza on your choice of our thin or original crust for just $12.99.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Hi.
Hi.
We have some demands. Yeah.
First, we want you to upgrade to advanced TV from AT&T.
Okay. I look beautiful in HD.
It does. 2, it would be nice if you didn't talk on the phone while some of us are working.
Did I go to your job and start talking on the phone while you're trying to work?
No. Could you imagine? He wins the series and you're just like, blah, blah, blah.
It's crazy. It's terrible.
Stupid.
Sorry.
Advanced TV from AT&T. It's what your TV wants. Now with free installation and DVR included.
Inbound pass to Kim. She spots her table. She swings right. She spins and drives the lane hard with an item from the new Hooters shrimp menu. And the shrimp is in, baby!
Hooters' new shrimp menu. Mouth-watering, tangy shrimp dishes. Served with all the fun you'd expect. Only from Hooters. Your choice starting at $7.99.
Michelle in for Team Hooters. That team has talent.
Hi, welcome to Hooters.
For the second week in a row, he's a winner, and for the first time in his career, he leads the Sprint Cup points. Carl Edwards in victory lane with Matt Yoakum.
What a main event performance by Carl Edwards. Survived a pit road miscue, a crew member shuffle, and then that late race restart. How would you describe this big win?
That's just very special. I got to thank Dish Network, everybody at Aflac, Office Depot, Under Armour, Ford. It's great to be driving a Ford Fusion. The City Financial Group. I was just trying to hold off Dale there at the end, and man, I just can't thank everybody enough. This is a cool belt. I'm gonna see. We're gonna give it to Joe Karazinski. He's going into surgery. He's not gonna be with us for a while, and maybe he'll let John Cena use it for WrestleMania or something. But everybody back 40 records. Everybody at home, thanks for everything. This is an amazing couple weeks.
For the first time in his career, he takes over the championship point lead to Dick Bergeron.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. certainly wanted to win the race, but a good finish nonetheless.
Yeah, it was frustrating. I'd worked my tires up real good, and I had the car about where I wanted it there the last little run. That red flag just really killed us. We were terrible on cold tires and we're sliding around. Greg almost passed us. He kind of lifted and let me get it there. He got on the outside of me, and I was pushing real bad, but real frustrating. We had a good car. I'm proud of my team. Everybody at the guard and AMP Energy, we really need to get a good finish today. This was really paramount to anything else, just getting what the car could give us. But I'd have liked to have had a shot at Carl on some hotter tires there. We might be able to do something with him.
Well, they were sniffing the wind, came close to it.
Thanks, Dick. Dale Earnhardt Jr. jumps 13 spots. He's 10th currently in the point standings, and the Richard Childress cars, Kevin Harvick and Jeff Burton, Jeff Hamlin, are 5 and 7 in the top 10.
Yeah, everything looking really strong right there. You take a look at Brian Vickers. Again, Tony Stewart, even though he had these problems, just staying right there as far as 11th is concerned. But when you think about Carl Edwards, Chris, you think about the luck bank right now. Great run in California. Got lucky today because of that one call on pit road made a difference for him having an opportunity to stay up there toward the front. So I'm wondering whether or not he can ride this hot streak right into Atlanta next week, because he's won there before. He's really fast so far this year. So could he make it 3 in a row?
Well, Jimmy Johnson was going for 4 in a row here, certainly taking a tough hit. Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart did not finish the race. Maybe, obviously, Carl Edwards and the Roush Fenway Fords are the team to chase, not Hendrick Motorsports, not Gibbs Toyota, at least early.
Early on right now, it's really been like a huge surprise. Jack Roush said they were ready. They were prepared, and so far they're looking very strong.
Tonight on Fox, an all-new Simpsons. They're in search of a rat. Don't look at me like that, Jeff. And then after King of the Hill, the Family Guy getaway with a lot of action, followed by the premiere of Unhitched. It's all new starting at 8 Eastern, 7 Central tonight on Fox. Another flip and win for Carl Edwards. For Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers for Digger. Hope you'll be with us next Sunday from Atlanta. We are leaving Las Vegas.